Hi friends, it's Sarah with Ruffles and Rain Boots, and today we're making this dapper guy's beach accessories. If you want to make them, stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting with me. Now for supplies, I'm going to be using this really cool upholstery weight fabric, the pattern, a glue gun, and some scissors. This is a no-sew pattern full of a pair of shorts, a cool bucket hat, and just a cute pair of foam flip-flops. Alright, so following the pattern instructions, we are going to cut all of our pieces out and then we're going to hem them. You can see I'm just going to hem this all-important little tabby here, and I make a mistake, which I leave in because I'm human. There you go. I have to cut that because I didn't cut it far enough. Alright, so we're just going to hem the legs, and I wouldn't even say it's tricky, but the only tricky part is the inside. Instead of a straight square or a rectangle, you're going to make a triangle right here. Do the other side and the bottom of the leg. This is a really easy pattern to use a sewing machine on as well. If you know how to sew, don't worry, this one will convert. Okay, so when you get your shorts made, you're going to wrap them around your gnome. You can see my little gnome pinned all together there. I made it a little tighter than normal because I kind of wanted his gut to spill over because it makes me laugh. Okay, so I'm going to, again, all of the instructions are there in the pattern. We're just going to glue down that tab, and then I would recommend you just glue the very tip edge of each of the legs until you know exactly how your legs are going to fit in there, because if you use the rollers as your legs, you're going to have to a little bit tighter fit. All right, so you are going to cut your pattern pieces for the hat and make a whole lot of notches. That took me longer than that, and the reason is more notches equals a more rounded hat. Okay, so I know it's kind of a pain to do one every 1/4 of an inch or whatever, but I assure you it makes a big old difference. So I'm just going to go around, obviously speeding this up, and I'm going to correct the mistake. I have like a random thread hanging out over there, so you'll see me correct that. But basically you can see these little tabs, we want a whole lot of them so that we can have a really, really round edge. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the inside. We're notching, and then we're hemming. Again, this is not very exciting stuff, but I promise you, if you take your time, it's going to make a much cooler product. All right, I'm not going to show you, but you're going to do the exact same thing for the other brim. Now we're going to start on the hat portion, or the bucket. So I'm going to use a 1/2 inch overlay here. You can use less, and the reason, it will make sort of like a pleat near the top of the hat or the bottom of the hat, wherever you want it. But I'm going to show you how I used it to make a little bit more form. So here I am notching the entire bottom or top, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to show you, we're just going to be placing it on like that and then folding everything down. So we're going to now fold over we cut off the excess that was glued, and now we're going to fold it over, and this gives our hat a little bit more structure. If you're using a lighter weight cotton, you may want to add sort of like a felt in between the notches. So don't include it over the notches, but just in between the notches, a felt or a fusible fleece. So we go ahead and add our notches on the other side as well, because that's how we're going to attach it to our brim. Now I'm going to start it by holding it in my hands. I'm going to go get another finger guard because ow. So we're just going to place this down on the table. You can see I moved mine a little bit right there. I need it right at the edge. We're going to place it down on the table, and then we're just going to fold those tabs outward toward the edge. That's it. It's going to create a nice, strong, wide, stable seal. All right. So I'm just going to do this all the way around. You can see. Use those finger guards. Watch, you'll see me use the wrong finger. Yep, there goes. I don't know why I just don't put them on both thumbs. Alas, maybe one day I'll learn. All right, you can see there, we're just going to go all the way around. Now, I will advise you to check, because I totally missed like a 1/2 inch section right there. But we do want to check, so always give things a tug, especially if you're selling them. Give them a tug. You don't want them to come apart, right? I use fabric hot glue, which does exist, but if you use Gorilla Glue, that's great as well. All right, so once that is dry, you're just gonna flip it out and check for any holes again. I have a random thread right here, but no holes, so I'm just gonna cut it off. There we go. Check the inside, no hole. It's weird. All right, so back to our 2 pieces. You can see here we're going to turn the bucket upside down, put one brim on the center, and then flip down those tabs right over the tabs we made. Now, I will tell you, I messed up like 3 different versions of this hat because there were a lot of them that were really flimsy, or they were made of foam, which I didn't like. I wanted something sort of a little nicer finish. And so I will tell you, this is the easiest way to do this and still get that really cool finish on the bottom without having to sew anything, right? All right, so I'm just gonna finish this all the way around, and this is me checking to make sure you don't wanna pull it down to where your bucket part is uneven. So just make sure that you're pulling down those tabs and securing them evenly around. And there we go. Now I know you're wondering, but Sarah, what comes next? We're just gonna attach the other brim, that's all. I know, I ruined the surprise, but here you go. We're going to attach this brim on the outside first. Just make sure you have your hot glue finger guards, because we're going to do the exact same thing we do with some of our patterns to create a nice flat seal, and that is put a line of hot glue, move that hot glue around a little bit, and then squish these between our fingers. You're gonna see me throughout this cutting off the excess glue that comes out. I want to make sure we get that as soon as we can. So I pull some off with my fingers and then cut anything that comes out like that. Guess what? You're just gonna do this all the way around. Yep. I got better. So initially it took me a little while to make these, but I got much better after making so many. And I learned a lot of ways not to do it so that you don't have to. So here you go. This I find produces a great hat. And honestly, if I would do it again for like a 4th time, I would put a wire in this hat along that brim so that you can glue it down while you're securing the 2 brims together, because then you could make a bendy brim hat. Oh, this would be so cool. All right, so here you can see me along the 2 seams, which give it a nice bit of structure. We're just gonna glue those 2 together, and look, you're done with your hat. Now we're going to move on to our adorable little flip-flop. So I give you these in the pattern, but honestly, I don't think you need one. Plus, you're gonna have to adjust the length for your little Gnome feet. So what I'm doing is putting down the Y, and it's sort of backwards. You see that? So we can put the front part of the Y to the top of the sole and then bend it backwards. So here I'm just splitting apart my little toes to find out exactly where I can glue on my flops. I don't know what that's called. The thong part of the flops? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna glue them right here and then snippity dippity off the excess. So I thought about it later, which would look really cool, is multiple layers of foam. I think that would be so cool. Kind of the way we did like the tennis shoes and stuff. All right, so once you attach the second one, you're just gonna slip that on. Hey, guess what? You're gonna do another one because your guy's got 2 legs. And then you're all done with your accessories. Isn't it fun? This is so, I just had such a great time coming up with this. I love it when you all request things. You can get the pattern for this fun accessory set down below, and tomorrow I'm going to be sharing the full gnome. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.